This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. Get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
This is Luca Perich, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
Recording has started. Hello, cats and kittens. This is the way of Superconnectivity. I'm your host, Charlie the Professor Esser. Mustache game on point. And with me, as always, is the blue-eyed bomber of the Burg of Pits,
Phil Filmian Perich. And may I say, I think that mustache has gained sentience. It's a living thing now.
It is a cruel mistress, the mustache, as Taft taught me in the old 90s Dick cartoon. Oh my gosh. Yes, the Mandalorian is back, Philip.
Yes.
I do not want to discuss spoilers right now, but oh my gosh, what a spoiler at the end! I'm not going to say it, but I haven't actually looked on IMDb to see if that's the same actor or what it is, but we all knew who it was.
Oh yeah, I mean they were kind of pointing that direction the whole episode.
I didn't tell you anything yet. Well, you don't know what it is because you don't know what I saw. Well, you're going to see at the end. You'll know then, and it's. I knew going in too. But I knew that there was something, but what the something wasn't what we saw. But yeah, oh my gosh. Well, a lot we don't expect is going to happen, and actually, the scene you're about to see right now, Tristan, because he's watching it right now as we're talking about this. We're at the scene with the pig guards that were in Jabba's palace. They're fighting in the thing, which I'm sorry does kind of have the feel of midget wrestling, because they're clearly like, they've got axes, but they're clearly like, they're not trying to kill each other. It's like
they're just trying to make a living. They lost their job when Jabba died.
Well, I mean, I'm sure Jabba didn't employ the entire race of green pig people, Well, I mean, I don't know what their exact race derivation are, but they are green.
Well, I was going to say, they might not be native to that planet. They might just be stranded on that planet and have to make a living somehow.
Well, that's the thing. Is, they have a very imposing look, although, honestly, I got to say, they look better in armor.
Yeah.
You put them in just the furry shorts, they kind of just look like guys with masks on their head. Well, yeah, that probably is correct, Tristan. They probably are just guys with masks on their heads.
So I wonder, did you notice this episode was 54 minutes long? Because season 1, all those episodes were only 30-some minutes. So I wonder if they're going to be longer episodes this season, maybe.
I mean, I don't think 54 minutes is out of question.
Why not? Most of the streaming shows are close to an hour, somewhere in the neighborhood of an hour. Why not?
Yeah, and for what it's worth, they're telling bigger stories. Mm-hmm. They've really got the technology. And one thing I will say is, one thing you will see if you look at this up is that the technology in The Mandalorian has just changed the entire game for... No one got killed. Oh, well, he shot him, but I don't know if that killed him. Yeah, it might have been just to take him out of the scene, and that was to set up the other scene that just is now what you're watching. Mm-hmm. And for what it's worth, man, Beskar armor. Why are you pointing a gun at a guy wearing Beskar armor? Are they though? Are they?
It's a TV trope. It's like in the 50s Superman when the guy shot at him and the bullets didn't hurt him, so they whipped their guns at him.
Well, exactly. It's like, come on, we can see what we're dealing with here. And, oh my gosh, I mean, for a starting episode, this hits the notes. shows, and this is one of these things that we were talking about over on Capes and Lunatics, which is not really, I'm going to make the connection right here because it's all about super connection. Disney, you know how I mentioned the Black Lives Matters ad in DC Comics, and how when a multi-billion-dollar corporation says, you know what, maybe radical left politics is the future.
You mean voter? Or was it a vote? Wasn't it a voting thing, not a Black Lives Matter?
Well, it was voting, but they literally have a kid wearing a BLM. I don't think it was Bureau of Land Management.
Okay.
I don't think he's that big into Burning Man. Black Rock City. We will keep this place clean so the Bureau of Land Management doesn't get up on our butts tomorrow. You would have to have gone to Burning Man, and you see, that's always the thing. Is like, BLM to those who've been to Burning Man is Bureau of Land Management, because they were the park rangers we had to deal with while we were defiling their pristine desert with our techno dances. Oh, careful when you dance on the sand, man. That is a dangerous game. Trust me, I know. You have to go back into older episodes to hear why dancing on the sand is dangerous.
Ooh.
So, okay, now I'm talking too loud for Tristan to hear the guy. Yeah, so then we just got to the scene where the Mando keeps his promise to not kill him by his hand. Oh, it's crazy. Yeah, but what I love about this is that it goes into this lore building in the Star Wars universe that the Star Wars universe desperately needed. That was the thing, is like, so much of the Star Wars universe was that white male protagonist's point of view.
Well, did you see that meme this week? It's like, it was basically the Mandalorian is basically pulling the whole rest of the franchise behind it.
Oh, yeah, and that meme's been around for a while. Yeah. And yes, it is true. Look, Jon Favreau built the MCU.
Oh, yeah.
He is the guy who said this is, and I don't mean that in a Jim Shooter or a Kevin Feige way.
No.
I actually mean that almost as kind of a Steve Ditko or Jack Kirby way, I mean, maybe even a Stan Lee way. I don't know if I want to go all that way yet, but I honestly feel Jon Favreau could be the Stan Lee of the MCU.
Yeah.
As that guy who was there at the start, who made some good stories, but also said, hey, just so you know, here's what makes a story work. And so I honestly feel Jon Favreau coming back into the Star Wars universe is the best thing that's ever happened to the Star Wars universe.
Oh, yeah.
And again, what is amazing about it is that what it is that everyone else is going all J.J. Abrams and let's get bigger, let's get sparklier, let's put some lens flares in that. Jon Favreau says, is there a way we could make this smaller?
Mm-hmm.
We can spray paint plastic to make Beskar armor. It's not that hard.
Yeah, we already know how to make it look pretty. How about we put a story behind it?
Exactly. What are the human interactions here? Who are the freaking sand people? The Tusken Raiders. Why they're Tusken Raiders, no one knows.
Exactly.
Because it's like, well, they're raiders, and they're like, yeah, because they live on a desert planet, and the only way to survive is this, and they've been here thousands of years.
Charlie.
So anyone saying that, well, the Tusken Raiders aren't native to, because I've gotten that in the comments too. Tusken Raiders are actually came to this planet, came to Tatooine too. They're not native to Tatooine. It's like, great. They've lived here a long time, and they have learned the ways of the land.
Look, we have a comment from a young lady, Miss Little Hellfire.
Yes.
Favreau is a better director than actor, for sure.
That's pretty low bar, though. I mean, hey, all love for Jon Favreau, but to bring back the Stan Lee analogy,
Excelsior.
Stan Lee wanted to be an actor, but he was a writer.
Excelsior.
He was honestly to have Jon Favreau one day say Excelsior. That'll be great. I hope someday we are crying over Jon Favreau in the way that we cried over Stan Lee. And that is the glory of the Mandalorian and what Disney Plus is trying to build here.
I think two of the biggest things, in his eulogy are going to be, Iron Man, starting the MCU, and Mandalorian. Come on.
Yeah, saving the Star Wars, saving Lucasfilm. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It's like Lucasfilm, and and for what it's worth, Lucas has not been associated with Lucasfilms. I know that's the setup for what's going to happen later. Lucasfilm.
Tristan just saw it, kids.
George Lucas is not Stan Lee. First off, George Lucas is not a salesman, a pitcher. He's not out there building the cult of Star Wars. In many ways, he almost is kind of like, yeah, I know I did that movie 40 years ago, but have you seen Willow? Ron Howard directed that, which is coming back. Willow is greenlit.
Yep.
The Willow sequel, which my man, damn it, what's his name now? Warwick Davis. Yes. The original Peter Dinklage, Warwick Davis. I'm sorry. Hey, look, you know what?
Know.
Without Billy Barty, without Hervé Villechaize, even though they hated each other, without Warwick Davis, there is no Peter Dinklage.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure Peter Dinklage is going to be the first guy to say, yeah, no, absolutely, those guys are great. Those guys really knew their place in the world, but also refused to say, I'm just this. I'm going to take a short actor job because I'm short, but you know what? I'm not going to be defined by being a short actor. I'm going to be a great actor. And then you're going to start having people saying, well, man, I got to write a short guy for this role because I need a good actor like Billy Barty, like Warwick Davis, like Peter Dinklage. And that's the thing. It's like, I think that you get more often than not people saying, man, the Trask example is perfect for that. It's like, I bet you someone sitting there saying, man, what would be great for Trask is Peter Dinklage. What if we got that great actor? And yeah, he's short. And then we could play on that in the story. Like, yeah, he's short. And maybe that's why he has a problem with people calling themselves homo superior. Because, dang, Skippy, if you're a short person and someone's calling themselves homo superior, you're probably really freaking afraid of those people.
Mm-hmm.
Let's call a shelter half an entrenching tool. So, that's a whole casting choice that's made there. But, yeah, it's. You're right, Tristan. I'm going to give you that spoiler. That's not Boba Fett. But you can tell that from the ill-fitting armor from the first scene. But which I think is actually a neat little call back to the fact that the actual original actor who played Boba Fett wasn't that big of a guy.
No, so it's nobody cared who was in the armor. They were just like, oh, look at that cool armor.
Exactly. But when you put that cool big armor on an actual big guy.
I mean, when you think of it, he wasn't even in the movies that much. I mean, Empire Strikes Back, he was towards the end of it, and then he was just in the beginning of Return of the Jedi.
It's all about holiday special, man. That holiday, which they're going to be doing a new holiday special, a Lego holiday special.
Yeah.
It's coming, man. It's
why do they hide that original one? They have the rights to that.
Okay, they're doing that out of deference to George Lucas because he made us think about it. That's the thing about Disney. Don't care.
What? He don't own it no more. They paid him a boatload of money for all that stuff. They can do what they want with it.
Well, I mean, true, but you also want to maintain, it's sort of like anytime that, when the writer says, oh, I wasn't a part of the development of this thing, then everyone hates it.
Mm-hmm.
You always got to maintain that positivity. That's why everyone made that, not for nothing. That's why people made Marvel stuff. Because they knew Stan Lee would be right there to say, it's great. No matter what it was. They're like, you know what? That's the great thing about Stan Lee. No matter what we do, Stan Lee's going to show up and say, yep. Because Stan Lee was playing the long game. He said, I just need to get the stuff in the mind. into the zeitgeist.
Yes, but I'm sorry.
Once it's there, it's going to do its own work.
I mean, they paid him billions of dollars. I mean, come on.
Well, I don't think they ever paid him billions of dollars. He was comfortable. Trust me, if he had $1 billion, he wouldn't have been doing quite as many personal appearances as he did. No, he had millions of dollars. He made, I will bet you he probably made as much as he spent every year of his life, and probably made sure that Jen was taken care of.
No, I mean, Disney paid. Didn't Disney pay him like billions?
Stan Lee?
No. George Lucas.
Oh, George Lucas, yeah, but...
No, I know. Well, I know Stan Lee didn't make a lot.
Okay, yeah. George Lucas already, for what it's worth, had a couple billion from just Industrial Light and Magic. Because, George Lucas is basically Jack Kirby of film.
Yes, because here Disney bought Lucasfilm for $4 billion.
Yeah, exactly. Well, but that it's not like it's a check to George Lucas. It's a corporate transfer. Yes.
Oh, sorry, Lilith. 4.05 billion.
Fair enough, Lilith. But
look, that's why Boba Fett worked. Aloof and mysterious, not overused.
Exactly.
Aloof and mysterious, like Lilith Hellfire.
What I'll say is, but that's the thing. The Mandalorians are cool, and they're cool because they readapt what people like about these films. Mm-hmm. They make you happy to see just the idea of settlers in a weird land, or natives dealing with freaking colonizers coming to their land and having to deal with that, and that we have a way of doing things, and you want to do things in your weird colonial way, and it's like that doesn't work in this environment. We want you to understand that, and that's the complexity of it. Baby Yoda's in a spittoon. They never reference it again, but it's clearly a spittoon, and he's standing in tobacco spit. I'm just saying that right now.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's why the rest of the episode, he like basically stayed in a backpack the rest of the episode.
Yeah. You'll see that in a minute, Tristan. Yes, it is explained. It's all explained. Because, again, when it comes to the idea of late-stage capitalism destroying everybody trying to just have a life. Because, and that's the thing. It is a perfect late-stage capitalist critique of late-stage capitalism, which is what billionaire artists do. It's like, the Marquis de Sade is writing these horrifyingly scary treatises because he's in a palace. And he can just say, oh, let me write about the joys of whips. And I don't mean chocolate whips and vanilla whips. I'm talking other kinds of whips. Yes, they are. Chocolate whips and vanilla whips are fantastic. Strawberry whips, if you can get it. But anyway, that's the idea. Is that so? Disney is the Marquis de Sade. They are writing They're writing artwork for the masses that is at its core destructive to the capitalistic hegemony. I don't know where the E goes in that, but there is an E in there. I don't know if it's pronounced or not, but anyway. And that's Disney in this. And that's The Mandalorian, and it is awesome, and I'm very pleased with it. Okay, do you want to go on to more things, Philip?
Sure.
Let's talk the epic battle. 2 megalithic corporations, understood as the mouse and the rabbit. Ooh. Disney and the brothers of the Warner. And their unending battle for dominance. We have always been at war with Eurasia. This Asia has always been our ally, and Asia will be our enemy when Eurasia is our ally. This is the 2 halves of it. So we need a third guy to get here so we can start trading off. But anyway, anyway, unfortunately, right now we're just at the 2, and so they're kind of locked in a Cold War. And the latest introduction to that Cold War is the Spielberg cartooniverse of Tiny Toons versus Animaniacs. So, for those unaware, Hulu is doing the Animaniacs reboot, and HBO Max is doing a Tiny Toons reboot. And the irony of this is that the main characters in Animaniacs are the Warner Brothers and their sister. And so, essentially, and what it really appears to be is that Disney came in under the radar and got Spielberg to say, hey, let's do Animaniacs reboot for no reason. We just want to have this property right here. We want to help it grow. This was such a great show. We want to build it. And then all of a sudden, Warner's is like, wait a minute. Why is Disney taking the Animaniacs, our property, the Warner Brothers, and their sister Dot, and putting them on their Hulu streaming? Or what did Liv say?
Nothing. It's the same. It's the same one.
Okay. No, it's just 4.5. Okay. Yeah. That probably means she's thinking. You know how in some places you get the little dots?
Or she passed out.
Yeah. Or she's just reblog. Anyway, but Warner's is sitting there caught flat-footed by Disney again. They're like, oh, wait, do we have 90s nostalgic cartoons that were utterly awesome? And they say, oh, well, we had the Tiny Toons. Say, get me the Tiny Toons! So the Tiny Toons are being rebooted on HBO Max, which I'm looking forward to enjoying. Because, as many people are, I was a Tiny Toons fan for years before Animaniacs even showed up. But I will say this, at a certain point when Animaniacs showed up, I did say, yeah, I don't even watch the Tiny Toons anymore. It wasn't worth my time. Now I watch the Animaniacs. They were the cooler show. And I feel bad for Warner's on this, that they got caught, and that Disney stole Animaniacs out from under them. But I hope Warner's, okay, I know you're going to say ha 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 right now, Lilith, but I hope Warner's is going to say, you know what, let's reinvest in Tiny Toons. Let's see what made Tiny Toons click. Let's make that big. Let's leverage all the things that Disney can't use, like the backlog of Warner's characters. Like Bugs Bunny, like Tasmanian Devil, like etc. These are all the Spielbergiverse. So really, right now they should be locking down that Tasmania juice, that Tasmania franchise, and just start talking about sweet, delicious orange juice. That's a Tasmania reference for those who don't know. Because Taz's father talks like Bing Crosby, and Bing Crosby used to be the spokesperson for orange juice, which is a hilarious callback from before I was born. And that's how you know it's a great nerd callback, when it predates your birth, and yet you still get it. They do that with the deacon on The Simpsons, when the deacon of the Presbylutheran Church comes into town, and he also talks like Bing Crosby. Because Bing Crosby just had that great voice for that kind of thing. So yeah, it's interesting to see that battle now played out between Disney and Warner's as these two megacorps, and trying to figure out, how they're going to move forward, when honestly, Warner's is always like second to the party, and is yet to figure out how to make their own thing.
Yeah, when they try to rush it and get there first, that's when they make their mistakes.
Well, here they rushed it and they're getting their second, and I think, I love Animaniacs. I love the Tiny Toons. I'm not going to say I don't. I'm really looking forward to a Tiny Toons reboot. I love Babs and Buster Bunny. And for what it's worth, I am certain, for what it's worth, we're going to get a lot of Honey in the Tiny Toons, because Honey was the character that Dot Warner is kind of based off of in the Warner Brothers, in the Animaniacs, because essentially there was this great episode of the Tiny Toons, which was, it's sort of a left-handed backdoor pilot, because it's not about the Animaniacs, but it's about rediscovering this 1930s character, and this character who's in black and white, who now who becomes reimagined and reawakened by audience love, which likewise, not for nothing, stolen from John Byrne's She-Hulk, and the Blonde Phantom. The Blonde Phantom, who's like, yeah, if I'm not paid attention to, I'll age, but if I'm back in attention, I'll get youthified, and that was something they stole for that. But it's great. So I'm imagining when we get to the Tiny Toons, we're going to be seeing a lot of Honey Warner in that, and maybe there will be that truce. I'm waiting for the truce between Disney and Warner Brothers, because they have made truces in the past. And I imagine we will get our amalgam universe eventually, where they're going to just say, you know what do we say we go 50-50 on the profits? Let's hire a bunch of indie creators, tell them to write some amalgamverse stuff, and let's make some money on that. Because as we said, indie comics, they're cheap and easy to produce, and you don't have to make a lot to make money. So
I don't know. They just always seem like, I don't know if there's people over on each side that are just like, no, we can't give in, Yeah,
well, that's what we said last episode, which is that, business should never be petty.
And again, and two, you do like a crossover, like the amalgam stuff. Remember when they did the Marvel versus DC? It's like, well, each side's going to be like, oh, our guys will got to win, or
Yeah, but they solved that. They solved that well. They did some phone votes, and then really, even in the whole thing, no one ever actually won or lost. And you see that when you get the Captain America versus Batman, which is that, we're so evenly matched.
They're like fighting for hours, yeah.
It's like, but this and then that and the other. And you get that one moment when Bullseye catches the Batarang. That's like the one moment where things are like, okay, so this is not so easy. But after that, it's like, yeah, they fight, and like, it's usually a quick, classic trickster god kind of thing where it's like, I'm going to use this, and that's what's going to give me the power. And then when Wonder Woman throws away the hammer before she fights Thor, or before she fights Storm, that's like her saying, I'm going to be a noble warrioress. I'm going to do this the right way.
Mm-hmm.
And it gives everyone to say, yeah, but if she had held on to the hammer, she would have totally beat Storm,
Mm-hmm.
But that's the thing, is they wrote it in a way that everyone got to save face.
Mm-hmm.
No one had to walk away. And that's the thing, and that's what we need to get back to. That's when capitalism works.
Yes.
When everyone's looking to save face, not everyone's looking to dominate someone else. Capitalism should never be about dominance. It should be about the stream of commerce.
Give the customer what they want.
Give the customer what they want, and the customer will give you what you want.
Money.
And we will all work together, and we will have a positive capitalistic vision. It can work in argument, in theory, on paper. But anyway, that's for comic books, and that's fantasy. But all it needs is for business people to stop being petty. Want to talk a couple of quick comic books, Philip?
Sure.
Okay, quick, Tristan. What do you want to tell me? Look at me so it gets on the mic.
The Tusken Raiders seem to upload their own form of sign language.
Yes, the Tusken Raiders communication system. It's noises, but it is also motions. So you must use both the motions and the sounds to give the communication.
Yeah, that was interesting. Like sign language plus the noises they were making. Yeah.
Well, I mean, honestly, for what it's worth, that's not unheard of, and it's not uncommon. And it is a real quality of many languages. And a lot of times what will make people think that other people don't have a language is they will not understand what they're doing, because, when you think about the idea of gestures in language, and if you have a gesture-based language that has sounds for emphasis, and then other people have a sound language with gestures for emphasis, if you have a gesture language with sounds for emphasis, and then other people have a sound language with gestures for emphasis, it's going to cause a lot of miscommunication. So that is problematic. We already talked about Spider-Man. You want to talk Hulk?
Yeah, Immortal Hulk.
Man,
39.
I mean, I loved it. I liked it. I'm not sure what happens at the end. I mean, that's the thing here with all of this, and the
almost, whole. I mean, the way I took it, it got me excited because I guess the leader pulls Bruce Banner out of his own body. I guess
that never ends well.
Well, hey, does that mean Joe's going to be running the ship over there?
I mean, it means something. I'm a little weird by the hentai qualities of this. I don't know if anyone has recently watched Lovecraft Country and their take on the kitsune. I don't know, man. It was a little too tentacle-y for my tastes, and it's a little tentacle-y too. And I do love tentacles. Yeah, well, I mean, we get this image of Puck sort of standing over the Hulk in as he's restrained by quantum tentacles. Right there, you got your quantum tentacles holding the Hulk, and Puck with his arms folded, saying, "Yeah, you're not so big now, eh? Puck is all out of Canadian nice. That's all I'm saying. I like it. I find it interesting. Oh, this is interesting. Have you noticed that Joe is purple in this?
In certain light, yeah, and he is wearing a purple shirt. I mean, he's wearing that Hawaiian shirt. It's a purple shirt with yellow flowers. Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess there is this idea that, because you see in this panel that, banners are a little purple too. But all I'm going to say is purple's an interesting color to get spread around. You see this on the next panel too. Obviously, I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to say this ends poorly for the leader. And I think this is all building towards this weird little reboot where we're going to get childlike Hulk and a Joe Fixit merged Banner.
Ooh.
Where the Banner is going to be kind of Joe Fixity.
Yes.
But he's going to be Banner. Because that's kind of as close to his base form as he ever really gets. And it's going to be little Joe, but he's still going to have all of Banner's smarts.
Oh, yeah.
But he's going to have this attitude oh, man, what is this? And then childlike Banner is going to be the other half. It's all of the childlike qualities, but it's going to be the big guy. And it's going to be interesting to see how they all...
Yeah, Joe's going to have to bust out his Alpha Flight headquarters. He's going to be on the run, and it's going to be Joe trying to decide, is this the time I Hulk out or no? Is that going to make the situation worse? And Joe's going to finally understand Banner's side of this. He'll be like,
yeah, well, exactly. I mean, he asks, why am I always small in this? Because Banner, in his being a smart guy Banner, which, it's that joke. It's as much as the leader has better computating properties, his understanding of things is more limited. Well, and that's your basic AI conundrum. Well, I can have a thing that can do math really fast.
Well, Banner's mind's always thrown up roadblocks. Remember at the end of the Pantheon storyline, Professor Hulk was all worried about losing control. So, whenever he got too mad, his body, Savage Hulk was stuck in Banner's body.
Yeah. Well, exactly. I mean, but that's the idea, is the idea that Banner is always in control. And when you're trying to do these things on the astral plane with the brain thoughts and things. It's like at a certain point, it's like there is an anchor. This only has power within its anchor, and if you cut the thread of the anchor, then it is loose and you don't control anything. It's the old, the idea of a kite. That a kite only can fly because you're holding the string. If you let go of the string, the kite falls down immediately because it's the tension between the two things, between the grounded anchor and what you're doing, that allows it to exist. And if you cut the thread, which it seems like the leader is trying to do, then you just have essentially a ghost of Banner in your house, and you don't have the tie to what the being really is at its core. So, I'm fascinated to see where it's going. It's interesting, when the leader essentially eats Brian Banner for whatever the heck that means.
Absorbs himself. Well, I just thought he absorbed his mind or his soul, whatever, but is that going to be the leader's downfall?
Well, that's the thing. It's like, I'm absorbing the thing, but what is the thing? It's like, what did you just do?
Did he absorb Brian Banner's soul? Because, it was,
Well, but what is a soul? That's sort of where it gets into this. It gets into the circular firing squad of, well, what really actually just happened here?
Yeah.
What did we see, and what did we discuss, and what is happening?
But is that going to be the leader's downfall? Is he going to be too emotional about Banner and the Hulk now?
Well, I think he always has been.
Always more so now.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's always worse, Yeah. I think what we're seeing is that, like, oh yeah, this is going to end poorly for. This is what I'm going to say. I think this is going to end poorly for the leader. It's like, wow, that's a stretch. The book is not called The Immortal Leader. No. It's called The Immortal Hulk.
Yes.
Did you get the chance to read Dr. Doom?
No, I did not.
Save yourself some trouble.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Is it taking a downturn?
No, I won't say it's taking a downturn. It's just, it has some good moments, but it's all written as kind of diary entries.
Wow.
And so it's all like, it's just like expositioned up. And it's not horrible, except for the fact that, you're reading Doom's diary. And so it's
how can you get a proper villain dialogue when it's all in his head,
Well, except, it's like, oh yeah, and Doom's a total narcissist, fascist, psychopath. And we'll get to the big twist at the end later, but what is actually kind of cool is the Blue Marvel in the black hole.
Oh.
We get a couple of shots of this. We get this whole thing with him dealing with Otto from the utopic universe. And this is the thing I love. And Lilith, you probably would have loved Dr. Doom. I will say that right now, because it is this idea of the Blue Marvel basically saying, I know I almost called him the Black Marvel. The Blue Marvel saying, I was in the evil universe all along, wasn't I? I was in the dystopia universe. It was me. I was the one in the Dark Mirror universe. But then again, that's that. And then, you get this nice breakdown with Victorious, where she basically has to kill someone very close to her, and that makes her question everything. Then we got Blue Marvel fighting the Brood for no particular reason, like literally. He says, how did the Brood get in here? What the heck just happened? So, but he goes over to the good universe. Latveria conquers Chimeria. And that happens. And then Doom realizes, I have to be a good person. I can't wait to tell the world I am here to save them from themselves. Because that is the mark of sanity, if I ever heard it. Mm-hmm. Don't worry, people. I'm the Messiah. That ends poorly. Anyway, did you get the chance to read Shang-Chi?
No, I didn't read that either.
That's okay. Long story short, the reason Shang-Chi does not know his sister is alive, or that we've ever heard that he has a sister, is when they were little kids, little tiny baby kids, they wanted cake.
Whoa.
And Shang-Chi, being the older brother, would go, I bet they have cake in the forbidden room that we're never allowed to go in, and our father has forbid us to ever go into. So let's break into the forbidden room and get cake. Oh no, it's not cakes, it's full of skeletons! And that can't be good. And his father comes, and he's like, oh, you've betrayed me, yada yada yada, 'cause I'm not Fu Manchu, a copyrightable character, but some other character whose name is not Fu Manchu. And then he promises Shang-Chi, since he says, it wasn't her fault, it was me, show her mercy. And not Fu Manchu says, I showed her mercy. And of course, Shang-Chi always thought that meant, oh, you killed her quickly. So she actually grew up with the hammer, because we found out that there's the 5 weapons, and this is yada, 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 yada. There's a whole rigmarole of the different weapons and powers, and apparently the Guild of the Hammer are in Siberia, and Shang-Chi is just not impressed. But for what it's worth, his sister does in fact kill him at one point, because she poisons him so that she can be the head of the 5 Weapons Guild. But then, the character who is now a skeleton, and in no way the trademarkable, copyrightable character of Fu Manchu, so don't ask, brings him back to life. And then there's a weird thing with him seeing like the stars falling out of his skin, yada, yada, yada. He is saved by characters we saw last issue that were weirdly not in this issue, even though we saw them last issue. So there's a lot that's going on that's a little weird here. But I'm still enjoying it. I'm in for Shang-Chi. So there we go. That's Shang-Chi 2. It's weird and crazy and enjoyable, but you know what? I would say pick a copy up and enjoy it. If you have too many questions, then write them and see if they'll give you answers.
Did you read Savage Avengers?
Of course I read Savage Avengers. Philip, what did you think? Because I've talked so much so lately.
Boy, you got the opposite of what you wanted in this issue. You wanted Conan to put pants on. He was naked.
Well, he was enjoying himself.
He was enjoying 5 women.
You know what? Sometimes you have to, downplay it and, just have the 5. And Black Widow was like, and he went back to it. We're just going to gloss over that he went back and, killed the Shimon-Gorath and then went back and 1, 2, 3. I only count. Oh, no. Yeah, there was the 5th, because that's the one that becomes...
Yeah, who gets possessed.
That's the one that takes the thing.
Who gets possessed by the cursed cocaine.
Don't do coke, man. It'll turn you into a Shimon-Gorath.
And then a barbarian will kill you.
Then a barbarian will kill you with one of the other lady's legs. I mean... He's like, man, I'm sorry. I just grabbed the first thing, and it was your leg, and... it died valiantly. It's like, but she's like, yeah, that's cool, man. Come back to bed.
Yeah, luckily it was a fake leg, not a real one.
Well, I'm guessing she has a spare. Yeah. But, here is, I'm going to say, the buried lead of the whole thing. When, here's this thing. So, Philip, I don't know if you watch Lovecraft Country.
No, I have not watched it.
Here's the thing about Lovecraft. And for those who don't know, Haggard and Lovecraft were like best buds. And Lovecraft, of which Shimon-Gorath is very much a Lovecraftian kind of elder one. Lovecraft is the original Grimdark, which is that no matter what you do, no matter what you try, the monsters are going to get you. Mm-hmm. Because there are monsters, and the monsters are going to get you. And we kind of get that at the end of this episode, when Doctor Strange asks Conan for spoilers.
For spoilers.
When you kill what's his name?
Garth.
Party on Garth. When you kill Party on Garth, it just saved me a piece.
Mm-hmm. Says all he needs a finger or just some blood, Yeah,
it's
just a bit of flesh caught in your blade. Yes.
As Party on Garth is eating a little bit of tentacle, and it's like clearly Conan is the voice of reason in the room. This is what we get to in this. It's like Grom, our nihilist god, is the one true being, and it is a weird way that it's playing out. And I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie to you. But I'm here for it.
But do you think it was weird? I mean, I get he sells books, but when Black Widow's like, tainted drugs, you know who we need? Frank Castle. I'm like, okay, yes, Punisher goes against drug dealers, but I mean, against this mystical stuff, I mean, we're going to pull Frank Castle.
Well, except for the mystical stuff that dies by bullets.
I guess.
I mean, remember when the fairies were like, he has iron bullets!
True.
Why does this person have so much iron? Why aren't they hitting us with laser beams? We're good with those. Why are they shooting us with these bullets?
They just put Wolverine and Frank Castle in the front line. Just go to town, boys.
What happened, Tristan? You okay?
I tried looking at you again and my neck hurt.
Oh, he pulled his neck muscle trying to throw himself back on the chair, and
I tried to look at you.
he did too many things with his body at once.
Sports injury, okay.
Yeah, it's a nerd injury. It's a nerd injury. He's a little embarrassed by this, but I hope you enjoyed it, Tristan. That was Mandalorian Episode 1. You saw someone, or did he look like Captain Rex?
It is the way.
I do look like Captain Rex because, if he grew an awesome mustache. Anyway, yes, no spoilers for anything. No. I don't know what we're talking about.
Hey, if you want the spoilers, if you want the in-depth review of Episode 1 of Season 2 of Mandalorian, stay tuned in a few weeks. Full Stream Ahead's going to be doing that.
Yes, Full Stream Ahead will be discussing The Mandalorian. I do have to get official approval from Maz, but when I suggested it, like that was like the one time Maz ever interacted with the Capes and Lunatics. He was like, yes! So there's that. So I think we're going to talk about this after the boys.
I'm pretty sure he enjoyed Season 1.
Oh, he very much did. I mean, honestly, it's a great season. It's like, as has been said, The Mandalorian is pretty much awesome. It's like the best. It is literally the best thing that all of Disney is doing, and Disney does a lot of good things. It's not like Disney's like, they do a lot of lousy stuff, but then it's not like, hey, here's Spawn, kids.
And again, I know it's 2020, but it's just like watching Mandalorian. It's just I want to see what they do with the Marvel stuff. I want to see what WandaVision looks like. I want to see what Falcon and Winter Soldier looks like.
Why? Why are they delaying it?
Well, I mean, they had this. Falcon and Winter Soldier.
I know.
They got delayed shooting, but yeah.
Not for nothing. I kind of feel like Feige's almost getting in his own way. He's letting his plan over dominate himself.
Well, like we said, are they going to wait another month or so to release WandaVision? Because it's like, do you really want to blow your, do you want to release Mandalorian and WandaVision at the same time?
Trying to honestly, what I am imagining they're doing is just saying, okay, what did what we do in Black Widow influence all of these things? What is the level of reveal we want here? That was meant to not be a reveal. Essentially, it's like, it's sort of like, I guess, when you get to Discovery, which I haven't watched yet, with season whatever, when she's in the far flung future,
season 3.
Yeah. That basically they're going to talk about things that happened after. And here I'll say something I have watched.
After everything,
when you talk about things on lower decks, where they're like, that's just canon. We know this. This is what happens, and this is the universe. And so now they're going to say, okay, now this was meant to be just a this is the universe statement. But now we have to make this that this is the first time we're hearing about it. So does this work as the first time we're hearing about it?
Oh my god, I saw a meme this week, a Star Trek meme. You'll love this because it's a Lower Decks joke. But they took the scene from Picard season 1 when Riker and Picard are talking, and Riker's telling Picard, I had the privilege of working with the greatest Starfleet officer, basically ever. And Picard's giving him that love look, and then he's like, "I wonder if O'Brien stayed with Keiko or not." Picard
I thought you were going to reference Mariner, but that's okay.
No. He mentioned O'Brien, greatest Starfleet officer of all time, Chief O'Brien.
Well, he is. I mean, O'Brien up there with Scotty. He goes like Scotty, maybe O'Brien, Scotty. I'm not going to say where the Scotty O'Brien LaForge triumvirate really goes in. Okay. I'm sorry, Balana. Someone had to be fourth. I don't mean to do that. But it's like, what? Yeah.
Well, I mean, in Balana's defense, they were stuck in the Alpha Quadrant or the Delta Quadrant for 7 years.
You know what?
And didn't get to talk to a lot of her peers.
F me, she does the slipstream drive. She gets it working. So you know what? Maybe Balana's the one, and just because she just didn't get the recognition. Gee, a woman of color not getting recognition for all of the stuff she did. Where have I heard that before? So,
yeah, no one gives those Klingons any respect.
Yeah, well, I mean, the actors.
I know, that's a joke.
But yeah, I was going to go into the thing about that's not what we do here. We always give mad respect for Lilith Hellfire, our official woman of color. So,
she rules in fear.
She rules with quality. Honestly,
Bing.
Yeah, if she had 2 E's, they would be for quality.
Oh, nice.
Fortunately, she has 2 L's, I think. Well, there's 2 L's in Hell, so yeah. Look for the 2 L's for quality from now on.
She has 2 H's in the middle.
Oh, there we go. Look for the 2 H's in the middle for quality. Ping. Lilith is awesome. Okay. Anyway, I think that's all my books, Phil. You have anything else you want to talk about?
No, I think we've basically discussed every Marvel
book. We have gone nuts on this show, and so let's call it an end. Philip, did you have any problems hearing me tonight?
I don't know. What did you say?
Philip, I have to say this all the time. Sometimes people have a hard time hearing what we're talking about because they have substandard headphones, Phil.
That's right.
They're going to the dollar store. They're buying the literal dollar headphones. I know because I've done this myself because I didn't care that much.
Bought it at the convenience store, just to hang out.
Literally, you can go to the dollar store and, for $1, you can get the wired headphones. It's a 50-50 shot if they work. People do this. People do this all the time. They say, it's $1. But, you spend $1. Eventually, by the end of the year, you've spent like $40 on headphones. Why not instead go to tweakedaudio.com, get some freaking high-quality headphones.
Spend all that money at once and get headphones that'll last and are quality.
Exactly. Quality headphones that aren't going to break the first time you use them. And you know what? Here's the thing. They're not even expensive as they look because you know what? You can use the coupon code Southgate to get a discount on them. And then you have good headphones and you can hear what the heck we just said. And if you use that coupon code Southgate there, you know what else you can use that same coupon code for? Over at huntedkiller.com, get a discount on the huntedkiller.com package to get an escape room essentially delivered to your house on a regular basis. It's awesome. And you know what? It's cool. You and your friends can sit there and solve a murder case for the admittedly fictional private detective Michelle Gray. She needs your help. She wants to solve this case. You can help her. And if you want to go for the genre piece, it is Halloween, although when this airs, who knows. but you can get the Blair Witch mystery as well. So that's over there at huntkiller.com. Check it out. Please enjoy. And then, or if not, go down to our show notes. Click on Amazon.com. We have a link in our show note. That's going to take you to Amazon. We can buy anything the heck you want. Costs you nothing. Helps out the show. And while you're there, you can check out Pod Life, the book. A book written by and for the Southgate Media Group podcast family. And for you as well. Basically saying why people podcast, how they podcast, and how podcasting saved their lives. So you may want to check that out. And anyway, I think that's all of my things. Philip, if someone wants to reach out to you, how can they do so?
If you want the easiest way to get a hold of me or into the rest of the team, email capesandlunatics@gmail.com or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And you can find links to all of our stuff, social media, merchandise, Patreon, all of it. Links to it, our YouTube channel. You can watch this video there and more. Linktree, linktr.ee/capesandlunatics.
Awesome. And of course, you can always write to me the old-fashioned email way the way our mothers and fathers once did at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. And follow me on the Twitters. I live tweet the DuckTales universe for some reason at 7 o'clock on Mondays. That's the thing I'm doing now. Why not? Enjoy it at Charlie Esser. That's CharlieSSER. Look for the 2 E's in the middle.
For quality. Bing!
Thank you, Maz. We should do that for Lilith.
Oh, yes.
And then she can say thank you, Maz. Anyway, friends and neighbors, children of all ages, this has been another Super Connectivity. Thank you for listening to us. I hope you come back again next week and super connect with us again. Good night.
Good night.
I do like our theme song. It's got a very Doctor Who-y vibe.
I believe it was picked out by one Robert Southgate.
Robert Southgate, he's good. He's the Stan Lee of podcasting.
Excelsior.
He should do cameos on our things.
Oh yeah. Oh, a picture or something.
Every episode should have a Rob Southgate drop. So says Master Do.
It is the way.